Hey guys, it's Novell J. Lee, and welcome to a new Buzzcast here at Buzzworthy Radio. I had the chance to sit down and speak with showrunner of the new Netflix series House of Ninjas, Dave Boyle. We got to talk about what happened during this season, and for those who haven't checked it out, it's a family of ninjas who basically something happened to them 6 years ago. So the series takes place in the present day, but there was an event that happened 6 years prior that caused the head of the family to say that we are no longer doing this anymore, but something slowly draws them back. So we got to talk about the first season and the spectacular season finale that literally just went like this in my head. For those who can't see me, I did one of those head explosion memes right now. So it was a great show, and I was so glad I got to talk to him. So here it is, our interview with Dave Boyle. Check it out. I'm with Dave Boyle, who is the showrunner of the new Netflix series House of Ninjas. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm feeling good today.
You
Yeah.
feeling good today for a Monday? That's incredible.
I feel good. Yeah, the show dropped on Thursday, and just
Thursday.
it's been great to have after years of working on this, and sort of, not really being able to not working on it basically alone and isolated in a lot of ways, and finally having the world get to see it and kind of seeing the reactions pour in from all over the place has been amazing. So
And I just heard that it was the seventh streamed in the US. Is that right? Did I say that right? I think.
yeah, we hit the top 10 in the US, and we're number two globally, and number one for non-English language, and so that's a big sigh of relief for
Yes.
everybody, whole team. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I have watched the series, and I'm going to add on to the accolades that you have heard. I thoroughly enjoyed it. For those who have not seen this yet, please watch this. It is about a family of ninjas, or in this case, shinobis. We do not use the word ninjas in that house. Number one. So there was an event that took place that affected them personally 6 years ago. Basically it's in present time, but 6 years prior, there was an event that took place, and now there are events that is somewhat bringing them back into the fold again because the head of the house wants them to live a normal life away from this action, but
Yep.
something happens to draw them back in. And just going over the course of that for this 8 episode series, it was a lot of twists and turns, and especially in the finale of it, it was not what I was expecting at all.
Oh,
So
sweet. Great.
I was totally not ready for that. Number one. Number two, I love the grandmother.
Oh, she's great, isn't she? Yeah, she's a legend.
I
Yeah.
love her. She's such a no nonsense woman. She legitimately is just tells it straight as it is pretty much, but I just love the fact that she doesn't give a crap at times. And it's great. I love her. And
She's like the most cold-blooded ninja of all of them. Yeah.
oh, you can tell.
Yeah.
You could tell, and she just knows everything. Like that's literally the other part of it. Like she knows every meticulous thing, and I think that's just what's so intriguing about her. It's that not just that she's just cold-blooded, but she knows a lot when it comes to Fuma and her family, like everything. It, I love watching her. I really did. She was my favorite, and just there were so many action sequences in the show, and I know I have said numerous times on my show that music does make the scene, but there was one fight in particular that I was so glad to see the music wasn't incorporated because it actually worked with just the waves crashing in the background.
Yeah. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. There's
I'm
a
not going to spoil it for those listening and watching this right now, but I'll just
yeah.
say the scene was because I don't want to give away who was in it, but I will say that the crashing of the waves with this fight scene was just spectacular. I
Oh,
love it.
awesome.
Yeah.
No, I love hearing that. That's great to hear, because you want every action scene to have its own flavor, its own theme, its own uh its own personality and everything. And so we wanted to have at least a couple of times where we're just doing straight action, where it's just sound effects, and we're not letting the music carry it. It's just you're just watching people fight, and that's got to carry the day. So we worked really hard to make sure that every action scene kind of did its own thing, and I'm really glad that you like that fight on the beach. I'm really happy with it too.
Yes, came off so well. So thank you for that. And circling back to your earlier comment, was this a project that you had started during, if I'm understanding this correctly, you did this during the height of COVID?
Um, the let's see here. Well, Kento Kaku, who plays Haru, like
Hmm.
he came up with the idea kind of during lockdown COVID. So with two other fellows named Murao and Imai, the three of them were just kind of trading ideas, and they're like, why don't we do a ninja show? And they took this idea, this ninja family idea, to Netflix, and Netflix wanted to do it, but they needed a story, they needed sort of a world, you know, fleshed out for the show, and that's when I got the call, like, hey, would you be interested in pitching for a ninja show? And I was like,
Hmm.
sure, I would love that, and because I think that a lot of my scripts and things that I've written have you know strong mystery foundation and that kind of thing, and I think they sort of felt like maybe I could bring something to it. So then I wrote the show Bible and passed that on to them, and then eventually from that basis, I became the head writer and director and everything. But it all started with Kento's idea and him sort of this was sort of like his baby. It was like Tom Cruise and the Mission Impossible franchise, where he took it and shepherded it through. And
So glad you said that because that's literally what I thought of it when I watched it initially was that, and ironically, I was on a Mission Impossible binge last week. So it's just funny you said that because it immediately made me go, this is literally Mission Impossible, but with ninjas.
yeah, I mean, we wanted to make something that was super fun and different, unique, and had its own flavor to it. And the thing that's great about Kento as a producer is that he was really all about making like bold creative choices, and just like, let's just go for it. And it's just such a lucky, amazing thing that I got to have that experience, because so often everybody wants to make the safe creative choice. They don't want to take any risks. They don't want to have the fight scene with just the waves in the background. They want to make sure that you know want to put music on everything. And so I think that having a creative partner like that was really sort of a really amazing experience, and pretty rare.
Absolutely. The cast was great. There was, I love Haru and Karen's romance, and I put that in air quotes for those who can't see me doing that, is because obviously, if you watch the show, I will say this, that they can't build on that due to the rules of what they have to do. So it was very intriguing for me to watch them try to play having a romance but can't. And Kento's portrayal in one of the scenes where it looked like he really wanted to, but in actuality had to pull back. And that was just something that intrigued me of the scene. I love that you're able to see that Haru had that instinct of wanting to not just come in, but also had to pull away. So he did that very well. It was very subtle, but you can tell with the little nuances. The character Haru really wanted to show his affection to Karen. So just those little things just picking up was really cool.
I think, especially in a lot of like period piece ninja movies and stuff, the theme of forbidden love is not a new one, but what we
Right.
wanted to do is kind of bring that into the modern age, where that's just such where that's such a set of values that's really from the deep past, and they're still having to live it. And they have this organization that's sort of breathing down their neck, forcing them to, checking up on them. to make sure that they're obeying these rules and stuff.
Yeah,
And so that was, that was a fun and I, I we tried to have a lot of fun updating kind of the golden oldies of the ninja genre.
absolutely. Now there is two other characters that I really liked in this series. One, Oki, is the definite comedic relief of the show. I don't know if that was the I don't know if that was the intention, but he really did provide that comedic relief in the show. So I did like his comedy variations in certain aspects of the scene to lighten it up. But I didn't really expect, especially since this character is a villain, I didn't expect to like Ayame so much.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, well, to answer your question, Oki is definitely he was definitely the comic relief target character. It's funny, he wasn't in my original show Bible, and we added him because we really needed that organization to have a little more personality and depth to them, and also just have somebody who could lighten things up a little bit occasionally. And Tokio Emoto, who plays that character, is just such a wonderful character actor. He's very funny, very very busy, very in
Mm.
demand because there's really only one of him. So I think he was shooting six things at the same time as ours. So I'd see him on set, in the corner reading like somebody else's scripts. Like, I'm going from this set to that set. Anyway, so he's a very, very busy, in demand guy. And then Ayame is played by Bambi Naka, who's also a wonderful actor, and she came to us via an audition. We had auditions for that role. She has a long history as a dancer, and she was actually a backup dancer for Madonna for a long time,
Wow.
and so she had a real natural facility with the action scenes. So like she came in and did an audition with one of the scenes, with lines and everything, and then she did an action audition. And she just has just such a cool, unique vibe about her. It just felt like, man, she would be such a great, scary, cool villain and everything. The only thing I asked her to do is to shave her eyebrows, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm down."
She was all about it. That's love. I love it. Just get right into it. Let's go. That's
Oh
great.
yeah, fully committed. Yep.
Absolutely. Well, we wrap up here. There's just one thing I just gotta say. I touched on it in the beginning, and it was about the finale. And it's just I'm sitting here going, where can we go from this point? Especially since there was a big twist at the end that was not to be expected. Where could we see this? Where can we see this go? When there is a season two. Notice I didn't say if, I said when.
Yeah. Well, knock on wood. I mean, I already, we have we have the story laid out, and I'll just say that we want to take viewers more and more into as yet unseen corners of the ninja world, and also to continue to explore the new family dynamic that is set up at the end of it. That I hope people, I hope people are satisfied by the ending of the story, because I do feel like it comes to a conclusion, but it does open up a whole new chapter. And so time will tell. Hopefully the viewership stays strong, and Netflix can give us a chance to keep telling the story, because we certainly have a lot more to tell.
There is definitely more. I would love to say more, but there is definitely more of the story to tell. When we can talk about it more, I would love to have you back for sure. Door's always open. I
Yeah.
appreciate you stopping by. Dave Boyle, everybody. House of Ninjas, check it out right now on Netflix. All 8 episodes are available for streaming. This is great. Thank you so much, sir.
No, thanks for having me. It was a blast.
Many thanks to Dave Boyle for stopping by the BUZZCast today. You can watch all 8 episodes of the first season of House of Ninjas right now on Netflix. Now, if you missed any of our previous shows, you can always log on to our website at buzzworthyradiocast.com. You can also follow us on X at Buzzworthy Radio and liking us on our Facebook page. You can download our podcast on Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and Spreaker. I'm Navel J. Lee, and see you guys next time.